law. She has worked both in the private sector and in government, providing legal and communications expertise at the highest levels. Honorable Abubakar is widely respected for her calm but firm leadership, her ability to manage complex national communications, and her advocacy for media freedom and transparency. She represents a new generation of leaders in Ghana's public service, inspiring young women to rise in politics and governance. Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar.
The chair of the forum, Nana Ohene Agyapong. The second, CEO of Vodek Africa and convener of this forum, Mr. Daniel Asumani. The Honorable Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakuhine. The former Member of Parliament for the Good People of Asin Central Constituency and flag-bearer aspirant of the New Patriotic Party, Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. Distinguished speakers, eminent clergy and other religious leaders, panelists, students, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to stand on all further protocol eloquently established by the CEO during his speech and say good afternoon to you all. I have been tasked to lead the conversation youth to rise through the ranks. Organizers of this forum had gone through my background and conferred on me, Minister of Navigation Affairs, because indeed, if you know where I started this journey from and where I have reached, there is no doubt, but a lot of navigation had to happen to get me thus far. But it is very important to situate today's conversation in a context. And I would like to anchor it on two principles: ethical leadership and sustainable development. What I define ethical leadership to be is leadership in reverence to the Creator, to God Almighty, to Allah, and with responsibility to the creation, to the environment, to the people, as leaders, to what we are supposed to do for our communities, for the impact we are supposed to make, and what have you. And sustainable development, because we are expected to talk about sustainable economic development. And I will take that from the definition of the Brundtland report, which says that sustainable development is development that caters for the needs of today without jeopardizing the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So yes, I am here to teach you how to navigate. But I'm not going to teach you how to navigate mining in river bodies, because the money will come, but it will jeopardize the opportunity and prospects of future generations to make their own needs. But before I start the conversation, I would like this scenario kindly show by hand so that I will know the audience that I'm dealing with and know that indeed there is a problem that ought to be solved. If I don't see any hand, my work is done, Yapong. So imagine completing JSS or JHS as we have it today. And your dream is to become a medical doctor like Dr. Amwakuhine. But your favorite school gave you business. You say, let me take it like that, because my dream was to go to Prempeh College, to go to Accra High. You take the business, you navigate it for 3 years. After that, you say, oh, my grades are good. I want to go to University of Ghana to go and do business administration. The admissions come. University of Ghana gives you BA Linguistics or BSc Philosophy. You enter University of Ghana as your dream school. Navigate 4 years. After completing University of Ghana, the only job opportunities that have been advertised are either in data entry or as a receptionist somewhere. no matter what your dreams were as a toddler and as a young person or a teenager, imagine the struggles that you must have gone through by the time you complete university. And think about it, whether there will be any dream. So please, if you've experienced any of the challenges that I have espoused in this narration, kindly show by hand. If you were forced to change direction because of what you offered, okay. That being said, it is very important. I dread speaking at lunch time because I know what happens when I'm hungry, so I don't want to put you through it. So kindly bear with me as I address you in the next few minutes. By the time I'm done with my speech or presentation, what I want you to take away, especially for the young people in this room, is to know where you are going from here with respect to your career choices. And even if you don't know where you are going from here, at the end of this speech, you must start thinking about where you are going from here by close of today. There is no better example to give than what I have navigated myself. I never dreamed that I'll be a politician. I can't even lie about that. Not to even walk in any corridors with politicians. Neither did I dream of becoming a lawyer, because at the age of 20, before I came to University of Ghana in 2006, I had never met a lawyer. I come from Azogori in Garu in the Upper East region. I was born and raised in Mushizongo. I'm the first lawyer in my community and the first lawyer in my village. These are the kind of steps that helped with my navigation. I have a lot of mates. You go back and see your mates and you will know the only thing that has happened between you and them is the grace of God and capacity building. So if we want to talk about navigation, we cannot escape that conversation. But for the purpose of the kind of audience we have in this room, I'm not going to talk about capacity building as in go to school, learn hard. No, that is not what I'm talking about. I want to specifically talk about specialization. Specialization. Yes, we have struggled with the educational systems. We've gotten the degree. What's next? Are you going to hide in the room and look for a job and say whatever comes? If I don't want to teach, but if what's available is GES, let me take the letter like that. Are you going to say, oh, I'm not interested in politics, but because I didn't get any job, let me follow a politician around so that they get something for me? No, that is not the direction you should go. If you want to end up in the formal sector, by the time you are done with your first degree, you should be clear in your thoughts, in your mind, what you want to be. And what you want to be should be driven by purpose. It should fulfill you. It should be something that you can live with, even if you have to do it 24/7. And when I was growing up, I said there is no lawyer in my community, I'll be the first. So far as I can remember, even at 13 years old, they were calling me lawyer because unya asema mekama. My advocacy has always been strong. And what I needed is formal education to formalize it. So when I was studying law, in comms, in political advocacy, it's never been a struggle because I love it. I think it's important that my community has a representation of a lawyer. You may be a good marketer. You come from a community where they weave baskets. They are not able to sell it beyond what they put by the roadside. Your specialization in marketing should be driven by you thinking that one day I should be able to create a website or a platform or introduce digital tools to my community so that their reach will go beyond those who ply Accra Kumasi Road. So if you want to do well, your capacity building should not remain at getting a bachelor's, but it should focus on specialization. And for a lot of people, it may sound abstract, but imagine this. If you are gifted with creativity, you want to be a creative dancer, after a degree you should be for it. So that the dream is that one day if there is Afro Nation here, you can go and perform there. If you want to be a climate change consultant, by now you should have read the 1992 UN framework on climate change. And you should have read the Kyoto Protocol of 1997 and read the Paris Agreement of 2015. If that is what you want to do, and all you are doing is sitting on TikTok live and watching beef, I guarantee you, the only expertise you are going to get is a TikTok live host and a beef commentator. For those in the informal sector, I am a food vendor even today. Even when I was a minister, when I go on set, you hear from Choba to Ghana Bar, it means two things. I belong to the Ghana Bar Association and I belong to the Choba Operators Association. I have run a family business that has existed in my family for 4 generations. My great-grandma had a Choba in Garu. When my grandma married and came to Offenso in Kumasi, she brought the pots and everything to Offenso. She ran the Choba until 1986 when my mom took over the Choba. And a few years ago, when my mom said she was retiring, I said, no, we are relocating the business to Accra. And I've been running the Choba to this day at Asofa and doing mass production for our party events, social gatherings. Yet, what you expect to happen at a particular point in time you to keep you surviving until you are able to do what you dreamt of. In a restaurant, the only difference between my mom's business and my business is that I have scaled up, I've packaged, I've modernized it. I'm charging more, I'm charging 80 cedis for what she would have been selling for 15 cedis. And even if politics did not come along the way, even if law did not come along the way, I was going to apply the education I've received in the formal sector to modernize our family's tradition and turn it into something. In the formal sector, I say specialize. In the informal sector, I say formalize and scale up. Before I leave you, I also want to point the youth who are still navigating, as I am still navigating, to the direction of global megatrends. You want to innovate. You have ideas. You are gifted. You want to innovate in energy. You are not following what is happening in the energy space. The world is moving from fossil fuel to renewable energy. And you say my innovation is about fossil fuel. When you go to COP or anywhere, you will not get any funding. So your ability to also research on the direction that the world is going, the emerging
driven taxis. He's got nerves, you know. He got nerves. He got nerves. He's kind of gonna give us a showdown. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. You know, but after the showdown, yam bokangu, ya bokangu, yam bokangu, yam bokangu. No, that's one of my favorite. Ya bokangu. I love it. Honorable Sekai is here. Honorable, I see you. I appreciate you. I acknowledge you. Honorable Charles BC is also here. And they are all with Kennedy Agyapong. But before he comes, the media will give us a very quick one.
Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong is a distinguished Ghanaian politician, entrepreneur, and philanthropist who has left a lasting mark on both business and political landscape of the nation. He is the long-serving MP for Assin Central under the ticket of MPP, a role he has held since 2000. Over the years, he has built a reputation as one of Ghana's most outspoken, bold and influential lawmakers, championing accountability, private sector empowerment and grassroots development. Beyond Parliament, Kennedy Agyapong is a seasoned entrepreneur and investor. He is the founder and owner of Ken City Media Group, which operates Net2 TV and Oman FM, amongst other outlets, and has business interests spanning real estate, import and export trade, and financial services. Through these ventures, he has created employment opportunities for many Ghanaians and demonstrated his belief in local enterprise as the backbone of economic growth. Within the political arena, Honorable Agyapong has been instrumental in strengthening the MPP and supporting its electoral victory. In 2024, he emerged as a strong contender in the party's presidential parliament second and securing more than a third of the votes. Building on that momentum, he has renewed his bid to become the MPP's flag bearer, offering himself as a leader in undeserved areas. His generosity and belief in service continue to impact lives far beyond his constituency. While his forthright style often speaks debate, it also reflects his fearless commitment to speaking truth to power. For many, he represents a voice of courage, determination, and action in Ghanaian politics. Today, as he stands at the intersection of politics, business, and social impact, Honorable Kennedy Ohene Agyapong embodies the spirit of leadership that challenges the status quo, inspires dialogue, and strives for a prosperous Ghana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Transformation, indeed, our convener. We need to transform this country. And we start right from here, the future leaders that are here. Nana Chairman, distinguished leaders, colleagues, the vibrant young people in this room, good afternoon. Let me begin by thanking the organizers for bringing up together conference, for giving my voice. I have cold and I couldn't say no to this program, so forgive me. Conferences like this are not just events, they are mirrors. They force us to look at ourselves as a country and ask, are we doing enough for our youth? The theme we gather under today is powerful. Is there enough youth empowerment? The gateway to sustainable economic development. As usual, I'll be brutally frank. Some speakers were not able to give the answer. I'll give you the answer, and the answer is no. The answer is no because we've had brilliant youth in this country that are eager to do something for themselves. But our leaders and governments have not prioritized the youth empowerment. And even an example that is a gentleman who asked a question about cocoa powder. It looks as if our policies in this country favored only foreign investors. And we, the local entrepreneurs, go through hardships, and sometimes we are treated by the authorities as if we are their enemies. But the gentleman, I want you to go back to the Minister of Finance and ask him the law of the free zones. I have a factory at the free zones, so I know that at least 30% should be sold locally. So if you're going to buy something from the free zones and you've been able to establish that you're a citizen, why should you pay the duty? Go back and ask, so what is the essence of the 30% that they should sell locally? I'll break my thoughts into two phases. The first one is the government role to empower the youth. Any government that do not assure the future of the youth, it means the country itself has no future. Because the youth is our future. So what the government has to do, or any leader with a vision has to do, is to make sure you create an enabling environment for everyone to support, especially their businesses. 2, the exploring talents, but to give them support, the necessary support, to make sure that they realize their dreams. I have a different approach. The theory must end. We have to be pragmatic. We should start from our universities. They should amend their curriculum to include pragmatism. If enough is enough, where I was in Adisado College and I could recite from scene 1 or act 1 to the end of Macbeth, I only got to understand what I was reading in Adisado College when I only went to Fordham University, that I could actually understand Shakespeare. We need to stop that and make sure when we talk about national service, for instance, speakers, an engineer who has completed university and needed experience, when he goes to national service for appointment or recruitment, they gave him a receptionist. How do you expect an engineer to be a receptionist and expect him to deliver? This is what we are confronted with as a nation. At least engineers should be introduced to companies specialized in engineering field to enhance whatever they've learned and the practical experience that will enable them take their destiny into their own hands. This side of the world, in my country, Ghana, our policies do not encourage the youth to take their destiny into their own hands. A country where they believe only the old has the wisdom and the knowledge. I'm afraid we need to change. We have to appreciate the youth, the talent, and their innovations. If not, we'll be lagging behind when it comes to technology and innovation. Those days when we were in school, when you take math set to exams room, you were disqualified. But today, they take their laptops to the classrooms. We have to accept in the exams room. We have to accept that is the reality now. So we have to embrace it. But when it comes to Ghana, anything about the youth is relegated to the background. We need to change that. Again, as a nation, we need to change the mindset of Ghanaians, and especially the youth. The youth today believe that the only way to make money is to gamble. You see them all over the place, gambling, and threaten politicians who poses tax on gambling. I will pose tax on gambling to deter you, because that is not the way to make a living for the rest of your life. Let us identify young entrepreneurs and give them the support. I will use Asia Miracle as an example. Asia Miracle, the Sanyo, Hyundai, and all those companies were giving support. And the support was that when you fail, you are given money to buy your equipment. If you fail to use the equipment for what you put on that document before the money was released, they will take it from you. And that time, with all due respect to Nana, Nana cannot beg. Pastor cannot beg. Your uncle cannot beg. They will take the business from you and give it to Mr. B. And because the companies knew that when they from them, they made sure that all the equipment and monies that were given to them were properly used. That is why today we have all these companies. But I have to be honest. Ghanaian businessmen or entrepreneurs, some of them are also very dishonest. When loans are given to them to expand their businesses, they buy treasury bills and use the interest on the treasury bills to service the loan. How? I tell you the truth. I'm a businessman and I know that all these things must stop. If not, the future of our youth is bleak. They cannot do anything. So we need honest, as the nation is expecting honest leaders, the leaders are also expecting honest businessmen and honest youth. Now to the youth of this country, I know you have dreams. How are you going to realize your dreams? Let me share this few points with you. What I call 7 determinants of success. The 7 determinants of success. 1 is vision. You just don't sit here and call yourself a youth and expect government to do everything for you. All the successful people sitting here telling their story, none of them relied on government for his survival. They all work hard. So if you want to succeed as a youth, the first thing you have to do is to have a vision. Dream big. Do things big. Don't be a myopic thinker where everybody, when you explain what you want to do, your own colleagues would discourage you by saying, oh, you are too known, you are this. The moment they tell you you are too known, that should be an encouragement to you to push ahead for your vision. Young men, you need to take risk. In life, if you don't take risk, you are not going to succeed. The future belongs to the risk takers, not security seekers. People, I'll give you an example of what I mean by security seekers. You have bank managers, head of corporations, they make money, and all they do is they buy treasury bills. They don't want to take risk. When they buy the treasury bills, they tend to forget that it is somebody who is managing it for them to get their returns. And if I am managing your business to give you, say, 50%, it means I must make 100%. Now, why don't you manage your business and get the 100% yourself? So you have to take risk in all your endeavors. Without taking risk, you can never succeed. You can never be like one of the speakers here. So youth, from today, what you've heard from all the speakers, when you go back home, begin to think through it and be a risk taker. It is important. If not, you are never going to succeed. Again, you should be hardworking. You just don't dream and think your dreams will be realized if you don't work hard. You need to work hard. Normally, every person works for 8 hours for a corporation and goes back home. When my former minister was sharing or giving her speech, she made mention that she continues to run a family business and also work as a politician. What it means is that she makes money from the restaurant and makes money from politics. Anybody who works once, say 8 hours, and go to his comfortable home and enjoy, do not expect to make the same money as the one who has 2 jobs. Because if politics will give the minister say 50,000 a year. Restaurant may give her 100,000, and put together she has made an annual income of 150, compared to the one who works for only 8 hours and makes 50,000. What it means is that former minister has a higher purchasing power because she has 150 and you have 50. She can afford a lot of things which you cannot, the one who earns only 50,000. So you have to make sure you work hard. And if you work hard, the paramount what you have to do with the money you make is to have ability to save. You should be able to save some of your money, no matter how low or small your income is, because of the rainy day. Let me sound political a bit. Going around Western North Ahafo and Bono, I saw all the cocoa farms are dying. The cocoa, they can't do anything about it. And I called Cocoa Board to ask, my brother, I'm going around, and the way I see our cocoa trees, what is happening? He said there's a disease called swollen shoots. So what are you going to do? And listen to the sad part. He said, we have borrowed money from World Bank to plant new trees. And my question is, for over 100 years that we've sold our cocoa beans, we didn't think of rainy day that we have to save at least 5%. 5% of our earnings. And today that they have a swollen shoot, they are going to borrow money from World Bank before they can correct the wrongs. It's a shame. So don't be like the government who doesn't save. Save. If you are not married, save 70% of your income. If you are married, the couples should save 30% of their income, because maybe they can have kids. Why I say 70% is that the youth, when they come out of college and they get their first employment, all they think of is to have a girlfriend and a boyfriend. So they need their freedom. They have to be independent. But it comes with cost. Freedom comes with cost. When we are staying with parents, they will not let you pay rent, but at least when you come in, you buy food and bring it. And rent, ask our leaders here, rent takes about 30% of our income that we earn. So if you have a job and you are thinking of your freedom, and you go and rent. A friend of mine went to rent in America, rented a place thinking the woman will help her. Meanwhile, the woman was sending money to Kwahu, and it created problems between them. So you need to save about 70%. Stay with your parents for about 5 years. Accumulate capital and use the capital to start a business. You will see that your classmates who had a job and rented a place with a boyfriend or girlfriend will definitely be far, far behind you when it comes to capital. And a day will come that your accumulated capital that you have invested, when you are spending, you do not even feel it because you have enough for yourself. You need to invest your savings. You don't have somebody who came to me, Honorable. In fact, she's my niece. She saved about 120,000 cedis. And came to me, Uncle, I have saved so much. Then I asked her, so what other plans do you have with your savings? And she couldn't answer. Meanwhile, she has master's degree. And all she knows is look at his bank statement and it's 120. You need to invest the $120,000 by taking risk. Life is full of risk. If you don't take risk, you are never going to succeed. You'll be stagnant. Again, the famous of all, when you hear Ohene Agyapong is rich, is this and that, my cardinal principle in business is honesty. Honesty. We have a lot of businessmen who have foreign partners. And when they invest their money in their business, they swindle them. But because of my honesty, as I sit here, a gentleman by me showed me some information that a man from Dubai has checked my background and he wants to meet me. I don't even know him. But anybody going to do business with you these days will check your background first. So if you want to succeed in life, you can be hardworking, you can be anything. But if you are not honest, believe you me, you will fail eventually. So it's honesty, honesty, honesty that will determine your success. Because we are in a global world. People will look at your information and will be willing to deal with you. Even if you approach them yourself, they will go back and check your background and come back again, whether to deal with you or not. So young men, with this determinant of success, what you also have to do is that don't rely on government for your survival. Anybody who will rely on government for his survival, I'll give you an example. The cake is this small, and the whole country, everybody is fighting to get a piece. So how much are you going to get? That is the question. So to succeed in life, don't rely on government for your survival. Start a business. There was a question. It was not thrown to me, but I wanted to give the answer. If you want to do business, you might have the most brilliant ideas. But if you come to me with 0 down payment and expect me to give you 100% of your dreams, I'm afraid I'm not going to do it. I would not want to do it because I give you the money freely, you will spend it anyhow. I want to see your commitment. Even if you've committed 20%, then I will see the seriousness in you for me to invest in you. But coming in with brilliant ideas, and such people, they can really talk to convince you. Yeah, but I've gone past that. So show commitment that indeed you believe in your product. 2, indeed you believe that the project is feasible. If you are able to commit yourself, then I will consider also assisting you. So young men and women here, It is not magic to be successful. Just simple things. But the government has to do a lot as well. Yesterday, I watched CNN and I was so inspired by Ghanaian women. Let's clap for Ghanaian women. And let's clap for the conveyor. Because all the theories I have propounded to change the paradigm shift, the conveyor said it all. And yesterday, 2 ladies, one, the name, later I got to know that she's a Ghanaian, but one, I kept it. She's called Justin Tete. What they do is mix pineapple with mangoes, dry it, and export. And that business alone, according to CNN, is $8 billion business venture. What are we doing as a country? We only speak big English. When we have to be pragmatic, God has given us this rich land. I'm surprised that Ghanaians are only interested in our natural resources. I can assure you, if we know what to do, our cassava, pineapple, plantain, sugarcane, cocoa are more important than gold. We are lacking a leader who has creative mind and business as well. That is what we are lacking. So we have to make sure that we go back. I think on YouTube, you will see these ladies, what they are doing. Another time, I saw 2 ladies in real estate, also featured by CNN. It shows that the women are now aggressive. They are not waiting for their husbands to give them chop money. Clap for them again. So what we need is adding value to all our raw materials. We should create businesses in this country, processing our raw materials, agro-processing with the value chain. I can stand here before you here and tell you how many factories I can get out of maize. Maize, I can get corn oil, 1. 2, I can get ethanol. 3, I can get maize flour. 4, I can get poultry feeds. 5, I can produce Cerelac. 6, I can produce corn flakes. What are we doing? We can use cassava for 32 different products. We use cassava for ethanol. We use cassava for starch. We use cassava for powder. We use cassava for poultry feeds. So many things we can do. Cassava biscuits. What are we doing? That is the question. So young men and women here today, this afternoon, if you are fortunate to get government job, fine. But if not, begin to pick mangoes. Begin to pick the pineapples. I have a young man who came to me with 2,000 acres of mango farms and 500 acres of coconut farm. I can tell you, so many things you can do with coconut, so many things you can do with pineapple or mangoes. So young men and women here, let's go into agro-processing. We are not going back to the agrarian style of farming. We are going to use technology, mechanized farming. Then from there, we add value to all our raw materials. And we'll make more money than the gold. Before I take my seed, let me give you an example. If you don't know, the fastest growing economy in West Africa here now is Benin. And he's using two things. One, cotton. Two, tourism. Ghana, we produce cocoa over 100 years. And now we go to World Bank for 500 million. Or we hedge our cocoa for $500 million. A population of 9 million, Benin, this year, the revenue from cotton was $650 million. Strike the average and see. A population of 33.6 million looking for $500 million from World Bank. And a population of 9 million earning revenue of 650 million. That is the question. It tells you that our policies here are fundamentally wrong, and we need to change it. We can solve our problems by using pragmatic approach and not theories. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're grateful for your time and your thoughts. We appreciate your passion and your zeal to lead. Fantastic. We may be seated now. Excellent. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong spoke about women enterprises, women in business. A good thing is that we've had women in business, women in media, women in governance. And so very shortly we'll have one such to speak to us. We have the Deputy Presidential Spokesperson here, in person of Shamima Muslim. She'll be addressing us very shortly. Please put your hands together, that's okay. Yeah. Now, earlier when the CEO of Vodek Africa was speaking, he did mention that for every young Ghanaian who has a business, you have a partner in Vodek Africa. What we've been doing, we've been running some pitch competitions, and we have some finalists, some winners. We want to honor them and award them. So whilst our dignitaries are here, we'll employ you to wait a while longer. We would want you to inspire them by presenting some of the prizes we have for them, and then we will continue. We'll have Madam Shamima Muslim engage us, and then we will crown the conference today. Please put your hands together for Akosia Kunedu, who have been doing this with all day. She will take care of the next session. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for her one more time. Thank you.
Right. So we were on a journey, as he said, and we discovered 1,000 businesses. We discovered 1,000 businesses, startup businesses in the country. And a few of them were successful, and we are here to support them. We are also here to reward them. So if you hear your business name, kindly come up stage. If the checks are ready, can we have them here as well? So in the 10th position, so there's 1,000 businesses, and we have 10 winners, so there's actually a big deal. So the 10th position goes to Pomas Castle. It's Pomas. A round of applause to Pomas Castle. I was there, and they made these pictures, interesting ideas, so you could see, her fighting for her business, and that she made it to the top 10. Pomas Castle, congratulations, well done. Can we have the checks here? We will invite Apostle Kingsley Adai to make the first presentation.
Mrs. Esther Ohene Agyapong. I'm the founder and CEO of Pomas Castle. Pomas Castle is the personal care manufacturing business enterprise. We are into the production of household products, skincare and air care products. For me, the idea was born.
So Apostle will do the honors. Thomas Castle.
Self-empowerment.
She is in 10th position. Well done, my dear. Well done. Apostle, please. Right. So, Thomas, please don't go. Please wait up stage. The next person is the Biogas Ghana Limited.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Biogas.
Show them some love. Biogas.
Biogas, are you here?
Where's the gas? There comes gas. Put your hands together for Biogas. Congratulations, brother. Well done.
Biogas, well done. We will now invite Engineer Trim to take this presentation for us.
Let's appreciate the engineer as he helps us do this. Nice. They are winning money, isn't it?
They are.
And medals. How much is it going with?
Biogas. You don't. Okay. So Biogas will get it for you. Kindly wait upstage here. And Webel Technologies Limited, are you here? Webel Technologies Limited. We will now call Mr. Daniel Metalan to make this presentation. Yes. Webel Technologies, well done. Yeah.
And Webel Technologies goes on with 10,000
Ghana
cedis, an amazing medal.
Right.
Congratulations. You made it in the Vodek Africa Idea Challenge. Okay.
Right, so it's BioWax, as in WX, not a gas.
Okay.
So BioWax Ghana Limited. Do we have BioWax? Do we have the check here? All right, whether wax or gas is not. Right. So we'll take the next one. It's Calendar Designs, Tie, Make, and More. Are you here? Calendar Designs, Tie, Makes, and More. We will call Honorable Fatima Abubakar to make this presentation. Well done, ladies. In fact, they were very, very vocal during the pitch session.
Please, let's appreciate the ladies and the gentlemen.
And they are going home with 10,000
Designs, 10,000
Ghana cedis
nice.
To support their business. Well done.
Ladies, please come up for your plaque,
please come up.
your dummy check, and your medals. Congratulations. Oh, they are not the ladies, eh? You have confused me now. Okay. All right.
So who is this? This calendar.
Calendar, yes.
BioWax? Yes. BioWax are here now, sir.
All right, BioWax.
BioWax designs.
Congratulations.
Well done.
Over there. BioMax.
BioWax. W-A-X. Wax.
Okay.
Right.
CEO. Correct. And oh, that's 20,000 Ghana cedis. Man, put your hands together. Impressive stuff.
Okay. Moving on to the next witness. Thank you, Honorable. Next witness goes to Producare Enterprise. Producare, are you here?
Producare.
Yeah.
Producare,
they're going home with 10,000 Ghana
Congratulations,
Well
Producare.
done. Well done. My family idea next year.
Check 10,000, 20,000, and they be a near boy who they would have been. We have to pitch next year.
We have to definitely.
It's
Aquafarm here. Aquafarm, you made it to the top 10.
Aquafarm, congratulations, you made it. Woo! Aquafarm, if you don't come, I can take it for you. Oh, he's here. Unfortunately, he's here. I wanted to take your own for you. Please, let's appreciate Aquafarm with a round of applause.
Well done, Aquafarm. So we invite Mr. Ebenezer Minka to do the presentation. Is Minka here? Right, so we can, Mrs. Asumedu, the wife of the convener, she will take this one. A round of applause for Mrs. Aquafarm is taking away 10,000 Ghana cedis. Well done. Honorable Ohene Agyapong, there's a special request by the convener. He wants you to do these next set of presentations. NELEF Foods. NELEF Foods, are you here? You made it. NELEF Foods. You're here. Right. Kindly come, my dear. Well done. Yeah, she's coming. So she's taking away, the company's taking away 10,000 Ghana cedis. This goes into the business to expand the business and to sustain the business. NELEF Foods, well done. Well done, NELEF Foods. A round of applause for her. Honorable, please don't go. Please. Thank you, sir. So we have Emmanuel Farming Enterprise. Emmanuel, are you here? You made it. Yay. Congratulations. I remember that face. Congratulations. So he's also taking away 10,000 Ghana cedis to expand and to sustain the business. Well done, Emmanuel Farming Enterprise. Please. Code Club Academy. Are you here? Code Club Academy. Yes, he's on his way. And I remember this guy's invention was about, yes, the white cane that was sensitive. So if you are physically impaired and then you use it and there was an obstacle, it could just, buzz. Then you know that there is danger there. That was quite an initiative. Well done. So they are taking 5,000 Ghana cedis. Well done. And the biggest one, the overall winner for this year's Idea Challenge initiative or project goes to Edible Treats. Edible Treats, where are you? Edible Treats. Hey, is she coming? Oh. Edible Treats, well done. You deserve it. How much did we get for that? Can you turn it? Wow, so she made a 30,000. She had a 30,000 Ghana cedis. That goes into expanding her business. Vodek Africa, well done. Thank you. So we invite all our speakers and our guests here to take pictures upstage with our winners. Kindly come to the middle. So Engineer Trim, Ebenezer Minka, Honorable Fatima Shamima Muslim, Honorable Shamima Muslim, can we all be here? Oh, so I can see edible treats. Right, I can see edible treats coming. And then listen, she had this amazing invention, used dawa dawa for, you know, like chocolate. How is that even possible? Dawa dawa chocolate, and it's amazing, no scent, no smell, and it's delish. You should try it. So that's edible treat. Her products are on the market, and it's chocolate. So it's different flavors of chocolate. And well done, my dear. She's taken away 30,000. She's taken away 30,000 Ghana cedis. Where is edible treat check? Honorable, actually she's here. Edible treats, well done. Well, a round of applause for the overall winner for the 2025 Idea Pay Challenge, Edible Treats. Well done. A huge congratulations to all our winners, from Emmanuel to BioWax to Mobile Technologies to all of you. You've done amazing well. Calendar Designs, you've done amazing well. Thank you so much. So next year, 2026, we'll open up again. And then if you have any wonderful ideas, kindly apply and be part of this great initiative. We are grateful to all of you. Thank you. Kindly take your seats. Thank you. And then before this goes to all our guests here, in fact, Honorable, I'll say this and look at you. You know, so last night I was talking to Daniel and finalizing the project, and then I realized that this guy needs help. I think we should all try and do something, you know, we should give him money. I mean, being blunt. I think it's about time, I think we should do like silver collection, and you know, the checks must fly right now. This came from his pocket, a young man. Every single dime came from his pocket, and I will take this on his behalf. Honorable. Wow, Honorable has done the undone. He's given us a 50,000, Ghana cedis. We are grateful to you. So leadership by example. We are taking checks to support this young man. Everything, every single thing, everything we see here was from his own pocket. It's a big deal. So if you don't have it here, we'll send his momo around. We'll text him. Personally, I'll do that. I will personally do that. Honorable, we are grateful. Thank you so much for your massive support. Right. So we've gotten to an important part of this very important program. We'll take a keynote address from our speaker, Madam Shamima Muslim. A round of applause for her. She is doing this on behalf of the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah.
Wow. Apparently, we've been sitting since morning. So, if you don't mind to do just a bit of help, can we just get up and stretch a bit? And if the young people are up to it, perhaps we should sing the National Youth Anthem. As we are inspiring and motivating ourselves, let's reflect deeply about our National Youth Anthem. So if anyone is willing to give us the tune, we'll be happy to do the Arise Ghana Youth for Your Country. Yes, someone come help. In 3, 2, let's go. Arise Ghana, energy. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. Thank you. Thank you. Involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building our motherland. That was good. Thank you. As has been said, I am here to represent the Chief of Staff. Before I read his speech on his behalf, I just want to share how profound this moment is. Nana Chair, with your leave, last year, 2 profound events happened on this stage, this same stage. Ghana outdoored its first ever female running mate on the ticket of a major political party. And that singular action has today broken a big glass ceiling, and Ghana proudly speaks about having 68 years on after independence, her first female vice president, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Another significant thing that happened, and I was at the center of it all, I recall I moderated those 2 events, was the first time ever launch of a youth manifesto, indicating for the first time a clear commitment to the youth of Ghana, enshrined in a social contract with the youth of Ghana. And so to be here again this afternoon on a youth empowerment program tells me that change is happening and change will come. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. I'll now read the speech. Nana Chair, honorable ministers, politicians, members of parliament, distinguished traditional and religious leaders, our esteemed development partners, and protocol observed, if I may stand on the existing protocols. I bring you warm felicitations from the President, John Dramani Mahama, and Mr. Julius Deborah, his Chief of Staff. Mr. Deborah was billed to deliver this keynote, but as many of you would know now, he is currently attending the United Nations General Assembly meetings in New York as part of the President's delegation. He therefore extends his apologies. I now do have the Herculean task of delivering his speech. Alas, all errors will remain mine. Today, VODEC Africa has gathered the critical mass of emerging, established, and aspiring leaders on this Founders' Day holiday to attempt to answer a question. Is there enough youth empowerment as the gateway to sustainable economic development? I wish you all luck in answering that question, because my question, I believe, is an easier one, and it reads: building an inclusive economy, ensuring equal opportunities for all citizens. It is indeed an auspicious day to be having this exact conversation 116 years after the birth of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. 54 years after the death of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah at the age of 62. 68 years after Ghana's independence. In 2 years, Ghana would achieve 70. Where are we? as a country. Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's life work emphasized that true progress is measured by improvements in people's lives and well-being, particularly through the number of children who are in school and who are receiving quality, relevant education. He also believed that education should include practical, scientific, and technological training using mass communication to spread its benefits in the populations, and that learning to be an independent state comes from being one. Today, we must also ask, has the African proven he is capable of managing his own affairs? Has he? Has he? Let's see. Honorable Ken says that to the first question, his emphatic answer was what? No. I wonder what your answer to this particular question is, Honorable. Does it remain no or yes? I'll get it later. Are we anywhere close to the self-actualization that Osagyefo envisaged? And yes, is our progress inclusive enough of the stories, of the images, and of the realities of the diversity that makes us a unit? Are all citizens equal before opportunities? Today also, world leaders have gathered in their numbers at the 80th UN General Assembly in New York to yet again commit to finding solutions to the world's complex problems. And where today, President Mahama will be launching the Accra Reset in New York to champion a new global governance for health and development. Because indeed, our transformation will elude us if we do not pause, look, listen, and reset. President John Dramani Mahama makes a number of assumptions, and permit me to translate those into this room. That the many of you who have gathered here in this room see yourselves as emerging leaders, as established leaders, as aspiring leaders even. That you in this room recognize that leadership is a responsibility and a duty that requires a constant search for knowledge, for skills, for networking, and sharing same through platforms like this. Indeed, these platforms are expected to not only inspire us from the brilliant stories of those that have walked the path that you today see yourself walking, but it's also to motivate us to act. Because inspiration alone, you self-motivate yourself to act. Again, as we have been told by one cultural anthropologist, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And so you, the critical mass sitting in this room, you are those that will change the world if you put your mind to it. President John Dramani Mahama is pursuing a bold reset agenda anchored on jobs, on accountability, and shared prosperity. At the vision's core is to address the youth empowerment challenge for growth and prosperity that fails to carry every Ghanaian along, especially young people, in all of our diversity, is unsustainable, even risky. There is a global, a continental, and a local context that makes it imperative that African countries especially prioritize youth empowerment. This is a context that we're all used to, but permit me to just remind us of how stark the image and the story is. Globally, according to the United Nations, there are about 1.3 billion youth, young people, between the age brackets of 15 to 24. In Ghana, however, our youth bracket is 15 to 35 and above. I know of some 35s who are still living in their parents' home. So let's stick with the UN benchmark. 16% of the world's population is young as of 2024. 64.9 million youth are unemployed. Take a minute and think about what that means. 64.9 million youth. And as we always know, statistics don't always capture those who remain in the fragments of society that statistics don't capture. 1 in 5 young people were NEET in 2023. NEET means they were not in employment, they were not in education, and they were not in any form of training, aka they were idle. And as we always say, the devil finds, I know you're hungry, but please try, okay? Very well. So here we are, in the face of such worrying statistics, we hear that Africa remains the world's youngest region. 60 to 70% are under the age of 30. By 2050, about 1 in 3 of the world's young people will be African, projected to exceed 830 million people. Herein lies both the opportunity, as we have heard in various speeches since morning, and the threat. Opportunity because with the right investment, there will be a demographic gain to the GDPs and to the GNPs of our various countries. Threat because largely this youth remains generally non-educated, miseducated, undereducated, low-skilled, unemployed, underemployed. In Ghana, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, 57% of the population is under 25. Think about it again. Last year, and before that, many of you have friends who have graduated from universities and tertiary institutions for the past 5 years who are still home. Harsh reality. Last year, 1.9 million Ghanaian youth were reported to be NEET, not in employment, not in education, not in any form of training, aka idling. An inclusive economy, therefore, is one that's deliberately structured to guarantee equitable participation and shared prosperity for all citizens. It is not measured by the GDP growth of a country, but by its ability to create dignified jobs for its young people, expand opportunities for women, protect the vulnerable and persons who are differently abled, and ensures justice in the distribution of national resources. The collective value of any economy is therefore a sum of its productive citizens and care for its most vulnerable. As a player within the sub-region and globally, Ghana would benefit more if our people are strengthened to produce domestically in terms of domestic productivity. If we are able to retain value across our supply chains and reduce dependency on imports. As His Excellency President Mahama has consistently emphasized, we must be interested in the health of our national product, our gross national product. just as we are interested in our GDP, which truly reflects the participation of Ghanaians in the wealth creation of our nation, and that ought to see many of us at the commanding heights of our economy. What are the proposed solutions to the question about the youth? The NDC describes itself as a social democratic government, one that believes in egalitarian principles of equity and equality, and the spread of the gains of prosperity across regions, across cities, across ethnic religious groups, that all of us belong to this country and all of us deserve to live in this country in dignity. So, the youth are thus at the heart of President Mohammed's reset agenda, from the establishment of a dedicated youth ministry, to the proposed 24-hour economy, to the National Apprenticeship Program and the Ejumora Program, to the Youth Farm Bank Project, to youth employment and youth entrepreneurship programs, to climate resilient agricultural initiatives, to the 1 million coders program, to the popular no fee stress policy, and the big push infrastructure agenda. Government is ensuring that Ghanaians not only benefit from growth, but also take ownership of the commanding heights of our economy. When the Ministry of Youth was set up, it was recognized by His Excellency the President that without such focus, Ghana would not derive its necessary gains from this demographic. So the Youth Ministry was set up and 4 main entities were put under it, namely the Youth Employment Agency, the National Youth Authority, the National There are also a number of youth programs that sit in various ministries, departments, and agencies, all asking that question: are our youth empowered enough? But most importantly, what must we do as a matter of urgency? The interest when these programs were launched was humbling indeed. And I'll quickly take you through. When the 1 million coders program was launched, within 4 hours, we received over 4,000 applications. Within 48 hours, 90,000 Ghanaian youth had applied to take part in the 1 million coders program. When the National Youth Employment Agency published some of its initiatives, namely the fire assistance model, the prison service assistance, the public service community protection and assistance, and community medical first, as well as the Islamic teachers model. My dear brothers and sisters, several thousands of Ghanaian youth applied. For the Youth Employment Program and the Jumawara Program, specifically the Apprenticeship Program, we received over 150,000 applications. And what can we do with restricted budgets? As we speak, only 5,000 youth have been recruited under the first fire service assistance model. 5,000 have been recruited under the prison service assistance model. 12,000 youth trained and graduated under the police service community protection assistance. 6,000 youth have been recruited under the community medical first responders program. When we went on air online to recruit the Islamic teachers, we announced that we are going to recruit 3,000 for this year. My brothers and sisters, 17,000 Islamic teachers applied for 3,000 slots. That is a reality of the young people's situation. No government of conscience can ever gloss over what this picture portends. And that is why His Excellency continued to commit to ensuring that these programs must work, because doing nothing is not an option. In the face of these numbers, government must find ways to engage these young people. We're not talking about those of you who are in school, who are near graduation. We pause, we look, we reset, and we ask ourselves the questions that many speakers have thrown at us this morning and this afternoon. So specifically, the government is focused and interested in building a new army of young entrepreneurs under its flagship youth empowerment programs. Distinguished young leaders, Nana Chair, under President Mohammed's Reset Ghana agenda, entrepreneurship is not merely an economic policy, it is the lifeblood of inclusive and sustainable growth. With over 70% of our population under the age of 35, the central question before us is not whether the youth are ready. As the statistics show, and as the interest in these programs show, it tells us that there is interest. So the question is not whether they are ready. The question is whether we as a nation of various stakeholders, of political parties, of traditional leaders, of development partners, citizens, whether we together as a nation share this shared vision of what needs and must happen as of yesterday. And so we are asking again whether this nation is bold enough to allow you, the young people, opportunities to unleash your creative potentials, to fuel Ghana's prosperity by enabling you with the right environment. And that is why His Excellency's government is acted with agency, with vision, and with conviction. Hard road to ensuring greater opportunities for our young people. We have launched the National Apprenticeship Program in Tamale, and it's being scaled across 261 districts of Ghana. This initiative is not simply about skills and dignity, for everyone requires to live and work in a country that dignifies them. It equips thousands of young people with employable abilities, from carpentry to digital repair, from agro-processing to fashion design, and it ensures that every trainee walks away with some skill, not only a skill, but with a certification, with some capital support, and with the confidence to take on the world. No youth must be left stranded between hope and opportunity. And we invite all of you to come aboard. The Jumawara program, designed to birth 10,000 youth-led enterprises. I am sure that when many of you hear these numbers, there is a suspicion. My time is almost up? Okay. There's always a suspicion as to, are these numbers real? But having told you the number of young people that apply for these jobs, you do know that a lot of young people are looking forward to being employed or giving the opportunity to self-employ themselves. So I'm going to cut some of these things off. So the message is unmistakable. You are not a generation that is waiting for opportunities. You are a generation that is creating them. You are actually, in you we see the job builders of tomorrow. Government is therefore laying a foundation, but the skyscrapers of innovation must be built by your imagination, by your willingness to step into the ring. By your courage and your refusal to give up. This year in particular, the National Service is also going to deploy 10,000 graduates for the military training program, so we can instill some discipline in those who are willing to submit themselves to the discipline that is required to survive in this century. An inclusive economy cannot exist without ethical leadership and accountable governance. Under the Reset Agenda, therefore, President Mahama has placed discipline, integrity at the center of our national renewal. First, the administration is deepening decentralization, giving real power back to our districts. Second, this government is setting a new tone for ethical leadership. A binding code of conduct for political appointees has been introduced, demanding integrity, modesty, and service. President Mahama has boldly cancelled fuel allowance for appointees, cutting away wasteful privileges that do not serve the people. These measures are not only symbolic, they are also a signal that the leadership is in the sacrifice with its people. Young people of Ghana, these reforms carry powerful lessons for you. It also tells you that true leadership is not about what you take, but what you also are willing to give. It is not about how many privileges you enjoy, but how much responsibility you carry and how you look out for your fellow. Because to talk about inclusion requires us to embrace an inclusive mindset, a mindset that asks us to think around the table and see who is represented, which voices are absent, which images are absent, which stories are not nigh, even before we can translate those attitudes to our workspaces, to our businesses. It is time to think inclusion before we ask for inclusion. Therefore, no inclusion, I beg your pardon, so I'm going to jump on climate change, on technology, and I'm going to jump to briefly conclude. Permits me. Right. So I'm going to jump on education and skills development because many speakers touched on it, and many of you are beneficiaries of His Excellency's educational policies, which are going to reform the way that we educate our young people. I'm going to also jump on our inclusion and social protection policies, including the affirmative action that has been passed to ensure that we bridge the inequality gap in our country. Also, thank you very much. I'm going to also ask all of you to think about your place in the future of work and what new skills and, most importantly, attitudes are required for you to survive in this new future of work. In conclusion, therefore, the central question for this forum, I beg your pardon, is there enough youth empowerment? Our proposed answer is simple: not yet. But under President Mahama's Reset Agenda, Ghana is making decisive strides which will ultimately culminate in an affirmative response to this inquiry. Through good governance and ethical leadership and physical discipline, relevant education, promotion of entrepreneurship, diversity, and inclusion, digital transformation with affirmative action, we are building an economy that carries the aspiration of our people. We are bridging the gaps of inequity, inequality. We're reducing unemployment, and we're restoring Ghana on a path of growth and prosperity. As we honor Nkrumah today and his impact in his 62 years of life, we do so not because his legacy was a perfect one, because it has been indeed an enduring one. And emerging leaders, therefore, we must know that transformative leadership isn't about being perfect, but about enduring legacy. Footprints seared on land, in books, in hearts and minds of many, long after your sunset, a lasting legacy. Nana Chair, it is therefore the solemn assurance of President Mahama that together with our stakeholders, we can and we will build the Ghana we want together. One that government cares, responds, and acts, and one that citizens and partners cooperate, collaborate, and provide constructive feedback towards our collective vision. That we may all within our lifetime, this lifetime, raise our voices to the timeless creed and dream of our forebears, that indeed, at long last, Ghana is free forever. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you.
And may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Obviously, government is creating the enabling environment for businesses to thrive, for the youth to enrich themselves. So I would say that let's get involved in the initiatives of the government. Don't be left out. Thank you, Shamima Muslim. Shamima is Deputy Spokesperson at the Presidency. We are getting close to the end of the program. I'd like to make some few acknowledgements. The father of the convener is here, Mr. Richard Ekwamwa. Mr. Richard Ekwamwa, are you here? That's the father of Mr. Asumeni. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence. Retired Jane Techi is here. Romanic Ababio Dankwa is here. He's the CEO of the CEO Hub. Can we see you? Stephen Prince Bentil, the SRC President of University of Ghana. Are you here? Stephen, right, welcome. And then Ambassador Carlos Boachi is Executive Director of the Africa Youth Forum International. Thank you. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. So we'll take the vote of thanks by Emanuela Kluche, and then she'll also give us a list of the ambassadors. So Vodek, please come with your ambassadors. All of you kindly come up stage. So a huge round of applause to this wonderful
Thank you all. Good evening to all of you. On behalf of Vodek Africa and the entire team, we want to say a very big thank you to our distinguished speakers, our partners, and our panelists for your amazing contribution to this year's National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum. And to our sponsors, our volunteers, and our stakeholders, we say that your contribution has made this event a success. To our youth, your passion and your contribution to this year's National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum is well acknowledged and appreciated. Together, we build a better Ghana, a better Africa, and we grow the leaders that we want to see in our entire nation and the world at large. Thank you all for representing once again for this year's National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum. Until next year, we wish you all the best and we hope to see you all. But before we go quickly, I would want to call upon our speaker, Mr. Daniel Matlon, to help us with a presentation briefly. We have some amazing entrepreneurs amongst us who have shown the outstanding contribution to this year's National Emerging Economic Forum. We have Miss Mary Timothy. Miss Mary Timothy, if you're here, kindly join us. We have Edward Mandela Riafi. We have Miss Comfort Dia. and Genevieve Aseye.
Kindly mention the name. So as she mentions, we come up.
We have Miss Mary Timite, we have Edward Mandela Riafi, and we have Mrs. Comfort Dia and Mrs. Genevieve Aseye Nutako.
Yes, kindly come up quickly.
Please kindly come up on stage if you are present. Yeah, and please, to all our ambassadors, if you are in the congregation, kindly join us on stage. To all the student ambassadors, kindly join us on stage.
Well done. We appreciate you.
All our student ambassadors, kindly join us on stage.
Well done.
All our student ambassadors, kindly join us on stage. Please, let's give them a round of applause as they come. Please, let's give them a round of applause as they come. They've shown amazing contribution to this year's National Emerging Leaders Economic Forum. They've done a great job. On behalf of WODEC Africa, we say a very big thank you to all our student ambassadors for your amazing work done, for the mobilization, for the effort and the sacrifice thus far.
Oh, let's give it up for this wonderful team. They've done amazing. I think they started early January, right? Yes. With the preparations, and they are here today. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Thank you very much for your contribution, for your sacrifice, for your hard work to NELEF and Team WODEC Africa. We are grateful.
Please, I want to call upon the our advice. On behalf of WODEC Africa, we want to see Economic Forum.
For your contributions to Team WODEC, for your contributions to NELEF 2025, we say Ayiko. Round of applause for this wonderful, amazing team here. Oh, let's clap for them. They've done so well. So well. They've done so well. All right. Kindly leave the stage when you take yours. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A round of applause for these young ones who put this program together. Done? Okay. All right. Thank you. Right. So we'll take the closing prayer right after the military band will give the national anthem. Apostle Kingsley Adai will give us your closing prayer. Apostle, please come.
Shall we please rise? All right, all too soon we come to the end of this program, and we are grateful to God for how far He has brought us. Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you so much. We thank you for the gift of life. We bless you for this program, and we ask that after this program, let mindsets of young people in this nation and beyond be transformed to taking their own destinies into their hands. And we strongly believe, as recorded in Hebrews 10:35, that we must not throw away this confidence we have. It will be richly rewarded. May you reward the young people of this nation with great fortitude to turn their fortunes around in the name of Jesus. Let your blessings and favor rest upon this nation and our leaders of today and tomorrow. In Jesus' name. Shout amen.
We'll take the national anthem. The end of this wonderful program. Thank you so much on behalf of Vodek Africa Ayiko to all of you. We are grateful. We ask that all our dignitaries, all our guests and speakers kindly come up stage as we take the group pictures. Thank you so much. We'll see you next year at the NELEF 2026 session. Idea Challenge Patient will be opened up very soon. Kindly be looking out for it. We are grateful, all of you. We have a cocktail session outside. Kindly take a bite, sip on something before you go. It's on my right. Sorry, it's on my left. Kindly take the left turn and have something, have some refreshment before making it out.